My students kept killing every plant in sight, so I brought in one that fights back. My students started destroying every plant at school, and I didn't care until they went after Mrs. Brooks. I found her sobbing in her classroom holding pieces of a broken pot. That plant was the one last thing she had from her mother before she passed away last month. She pulled out a resignation letter and said, "I can't do this anymore. They win." Even though I saw Marcus cut up someone's bonsai tree last week, I couldn't prove it. I'm genetically immune to poison ivy, and I grow it along my back fence to keep neighbor kids out of my yard. That night, I potted 3 poison ivy plants and brought them to school the next morning with a massive red sign. Danger, do not touch poisonous plants. The next morning, Marcus walked into class and walked up to my desk, practically drooling. "Yo, Mr. J, those really poisonous." I explained how the urushiol oil binds to skin cells and causes massive blistering, weeping wounds that won't stop itching. And if you touch it, then touch other sensitive areas, you'll be explaining some very uncomfortable things to the doctor. Marcus laughed and said I was just trying to scare him. I gave the same warning to every single class, and the next day, it happened. I walked in, and 3 leaves were missing, torn right off. "Everyone against the wall," I shouted. "Someone destroyed my property, and I'm searching everyone." I started with the front row, making a big show of checking pockets and bags. "I'm checking everything. Bags, desks, pockets, shoes, everything except your underwear, obviously. I don't want to catch a case." The class laughed. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Marcus shove something into his pants, but I kept working down the rows, checking every student one at a time. Finally, I got to Marcus. I patted down his pockets, checked his backpack, looked through his desk. Nothing. I stood up and looked him dead in the eye, knowing exactly where he'd hidden them. "You're clear." Marcus leaned back in his chair. His smirk spread across his entire face. The next day, Marcus limped into class, scratching at his arms. His hands were covered in red welts. He couldn't sit still, kept shifting in his seat like he was sitting on fire. I looked up from my desk, leaned in close and whispered, "Yo, Marcus, those really are poisonous." His face went white. Our eyes met. He stopped scratching. That's when he realized I'd played him, and the Great Plant Massacre was over. Mrs. Brooks replanted her mother's plant and never turned in that resignation letter.